What is fascinating about this clock is that in one seemingly simple timepiece, it combines all the principles that Knibb held dear to his way of clockmaking. Unlike his rivals, such as Thomas Tompion and Daniel Quare, who tended towards more showy cases, Knibb's sartorial, often understated elegance of design of both movement and case shone through, and I think this was probably a reflection of a very interesting character. First, let's look at the outward simplicity of this clock case. The austere but beautifully proportioned case has an oak carcass and ebony veneers. It's surmounted by a lovely foliate-tied brass handle, which still retains vestiges of the original gilding. Besides the handle, the only other adornment on the case are the winged cherub escutcheons, the left hand of which swivels to one side to reveal the front door lock, a feature so typical of Knibb's Phase 3 clock cases. The simplicity of the case belies the extraordinary complexity and design quality of the movement that's held within it. It has 3 trains of wheels and 3 spring barrels and fusees. The front plate is divided into 3 sections. This is a particularly rare feature which required considerably more work and skill by Knibb. Essentially, it meant that the central going train could be worked on by the clockmaker without having to strip down the 2 strike trains either side. This isn't something that benefited the owner of the clock, because it was permanently covered by the dial plate. Rather, it was purely Knibb demonstrating his own brilliant skills, and it meant that when the clock returned for adjustment or servicing, it was far easier to work on. The exquisitely engraved backplate clearly shows the 2 count wheels which regulate the clock's striking mechanism. The count wheel on the right has 4 slots for the 4 quarters, with steel pins which raise the steel locking arm on each quarter, which in turn raises the detent for the hour count wheel, which then strikes the hours. But on Knibb's double 6-hour striking clocks, such as this one, in order to save power after striking the first 6 hours normally, it reverts to 1 blow again at 7 o'clock, and at the end striking 6 blows for 12 o'clock. This way, only 42 blows of the hour bell were required in 12 hours, against the normal 78. I would just like to touch on the provenance of this remarkable clock. It was originally in the collection of Arthur Wetherfield, who was a coal merchant that died in 1928. He had a remarkable collection of clocks, some 232 of them in his house, 16 of which were apparently long-case clocks in his dining room. And on the base of this clock, if we turn it round, we can see the label for the Wetherfield collection, very clearly printed there. So this clock combines austerity of case, complexity of movement, and excellent provenance.